victory over Leanne Barrett, is ready to start match number 2.
Second game between Nicki Gianulias and Sharon Todd.
Passports, bags, thermostat, Uber. Because there are 5 a.m. flights in your area, there are drivers in your area.
Every parent knows when it's time to go into protect mode. Kill 99.9% of bacteria when you add Lysol laundry sanitizer to your laundry routine.
Go.
And the 2-8 remains. The bucket was there for a moment or so.
I think what we might start seeing, Denny, is the conditioner carrying down a little bit farther and the players not quite getting as much break in the back end as the evening goes on. Now, the last couple shots, Nicki actually threw the ball, did hook, she made the adjustment, and now she left the 2-8.
Key double for her was in the 6th and the 7th, and missed the 2-pin in the 8th. Was fortunate to advance.
And here's one of those left-handed spares we mentioned. However, this one with the sleeper, so she's going very hard at it. However, the ball's still taken off to the left as she shakes her head.
Really an overreaction, is the best way that I can state it. You have to be very, very careful when you're shooting anything on the left side.
Overreaction is what you get a lot on short oil, the limited distance dressing that we see out here on the women's tour. The lanes are oiled 23.5 feet. And lanes get real tricky.
Ever the diplomat. Strike for Sharon Todd, who opens up here on the right-hand lane.
Take a look at Sharon's game. Now she has a 5-step approach with a small first step. Starts the ball very low, almost like the Marshall Holman style. Look how far she's bent at the waist. She comes around the side of the ball, almost suitcases it. Gets a lot of side turn. But she's accurate. Not a lot of knee bend. Just very straight leg.
Trying to play pretty direct as she leaves the 4-pin. Told me that to stay out of trouble this week, she went to some shinier equipment throughout the week and pretty much tried to just go up and at them and not swing the ball too much.
Well, you have the best angle for carry if you go more direct, coming from that outside line. A lot of times, players and amateurs alike will tend to try to go to the softer equipment and try to create that big hook when you're actually better off to go straighter at the pins with a harder, shinier surfaced bowling ball.
Stood up a little on that shot, but a sigh of relief and a spare for Sharon Todd in the 2nd.
Sharon actually having problems in practice sliding, and it looked as if she stuck on that shot as she came back on the approach. She slid her foot a little bit, making sure she would slide. So she might have a little footwork problem here.
Nicki G trying to right herself after an open in the first frame. That one's past the head pin, and she leaves the 1-2-8. So the search continues.
Now, one thing when you're late with the ball, fast with your feet, timing gets off, and it was apparent that that's what she did. She sent that ball way out to the right. It was not in time.
And after you miss the 2-8, the last thing you want to do is shoot the 1-2-8. Right?
Exactly.
No fun.
Now she should move to the left, try to play a little bit straighter at it rather than standing to the right and trying to cross lane.
Well, no problem whatsoever there. As she crosses over, next in line will be Lori Nichols of Algonquin, Illinois, and then, of course, our top seed, Michelle Mullen of Matson, Illinois.
Nicki wanted to mention a few ball drillers that have been helpful to her recently, Dawn Niendorf and Mark Robbie and Ed Beltru. And it's very important to have a ball that fits correctly. And you find somebody that works for you, you need to stick with them.
Her match play record now in championship round appearances, 31 victories, 38 losses. back to 500. Once again, 2-4-5.
4-5.
People at home are probably saying, well, geez, I saw her throw some strikes in the opening game. What's the problem? But lane conditioner moves around out there.
It sure does. And I think Nicki felt she threw a good shot, and she made the adjustment off the 2-8 on lane 13 last time. However, the ball still slid longer. And like I mentioned, with that 23.5 feet of conditioner, it carries down quickly, and the lanes change quickly.
Well, no surprise
off the
there.
five.
Left-hand lane and the left side of the left-hand lane has posed all sorts of problems for Nicki Gianulias, who has opened again, this time missing the 2-4-5.
Tori Romeo again, our foul line judge this week.
This profile, huh? I wonder if we're getting her good side.
And this is her angle.
To make sure that nobody fouls, let's see if we see a... Oh, no problem there. A little problem with the shot, as it nearly went into the channel at about 45 feet.
Sharon once again sliding again at the foul line. She's actually sticking. She's rubbing her foot now on the approach. When you don't get a good slide, your leverage is gone, and that's exactly what happened. That ball almost went in the channel.
That's what I said. That was close. About 4 or 5 boards right of where she was trying to throw it, I think. Yeah?
Well, your footwork is so important, Denny, and I can't stress that.
Very amazing.
Well, there's her husband, Steve, looking on, and by a whisker that time, she picks up the head pin.
That's a hair.
The wind.
The wind.
As Mike Durbin would say, by a freckle.
Steve actually drove 9 hours to watch his wife bowl this evening. Great supporter in her game. Both of them met at Moorhead State.
It's a faithful husband. He knows who the breadwinner is. No, he is a manager of a bowling center. It's a bowling family, no question about that. Good player in his own right. And they worked very hard on each other's games. Really enjoy the sport of bowling. It's nice to see a young couple like that getting an opportunity to play on the national tour. I know he has probably bowled some PBA regionals. I think he's maybe wondering about playing out there full time.
Well, that's a tough job too. So you get both members of the family traveling in different directions.
Lisa and Kent Wagner would know more about that, right?
You bet. Uh-oh.
Well, she asked it to hook back, and it never did get to the 3-pin. So an open now for Sharon Todd. And this one changes around a little bit. She leads now by just 8.
Sharon's playing a little duller ball going out to about the second, third board as it breaks back on the last 10 feet of the lane. Here's her spare attempt.
Yep,
And once again,
eight.
that leaning tower, she helped to convert this spare.
Okay, that was in the 7th. And she now trails, as you see, by 3 pins as we head into the home stretch here of game number 2. The winner takes on Lori Nichols.
The ball not driving.
7.
6-pin lane in the channel. And Sharon disappointed with that shot.
She's kind of executed her game plan, Leila, pretty much like she did throughout the tournament. She's hitting the pocket, but 3 consecutive 10 pins have kind of slowed her pace.
Well, she's gone from the actual ringing 10-pin, trying to make the adjustment to a little bit flatter 10-pin. So there's slight adjustments there, and she's leaving them both ways.
And 3 consecutive spares of the 10. And if he could offer some advice, what would it be?
Start hoping a lot.
Prayer, right?
Prayer. Nicki looking for a turkey.
And to extend her lead to 14. Classy shot for the veteran, as she has opened up a 14-pin lead and could wave goodbye shortly here.
It appears she has lane 14 down now. As you can see, this ball coming into your living room, and here is the hits.
3 in a row.
really getting through that ball nicely. And here's her reaction. She's talking to it.
Possible 225 for Nicki Gianulias, who has already defeated Leanne Barrett, 213 to 184. Foundation free, and she gets the shaker. So Nicki G storms with a four-bagger into the latter stages of game number 2, and she's got her hands on this one.
One thing you have to admire, Denny, is Nicki is trusting the ball. Now in lane 13, she's really never gone high. She's been making those slight adjustments, and she's still trusting it.
As I mentioned, basically before she went on the run, hey, what about another ball? And you said, no, she's going to stick with her instincts, maybe just kind of make the little adjustments. That's what she's done. Nice shot for Sharon Todd, who throws her hands up in the air and says, oh my goodness, the 10-pin went down.
Well, without 3 10-pins in a row, she could have had a 5-bagger. So I guess this means victory in her eyes anyway to carry all 10. Thank you. It's about time.
Well, if she strikes out, it's a game of 201. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough here. Good extension with that shot. So once she had an opportunity to double, she took advantage.
Well, that's important, Denny, and you always learn every telecast you make. You learn a little bit more, and you get a little bit more relaxed for the next time. So she can take and look back at the tape and say, hey, I made some good shots.
Throws this one, and she forces Nicki to mark.
Tournament high game, 299, just missing that 300 game.
Did she leave a 10-pin?
I'll tell you the truth, I wasn't here.
Let's hope it wasn't. Nice comeback, though, for Sharon Todd, who obviously has changed the complexion here of the 10th frame anyway.
Steve looking up, calculating exactly what Nicki needs. Now we've seen the big 4 and the big 5, the Greek Church jump up, so once again, you can't count her out yet.
Well, if Nicki would open in the 10th, it would be a game in the 190s, so she needs a spare in the 10th to advance into the semifinal game. Nice comeback, gutsy performance for Sharon Todd, who leaves yet another 10-pin, her 4th here of game number 2, but a solid game of 200.
Nicki taking her time here in the 10th frame.
Meet our TurboTax experts in person and let them do your taxes for you. Now this is Taxes.
When you need some serious grill strategy on game day, you could just ask Google for the perfect grilling play-by-play. So the feast is all ready by...
Excellent shot for Nicki Gianulias, who just eliminates a very disappointed Sharon Todd. She mounted a nice charge.
She did, and there's nothing more professional than Nicki walking up and striking when you need a spare. You go for the strike. You don't just go for the spare.
Yeah, you have to stay aggressive.
Very.
That one's lost in space, but it doesn't make any difference for Nicki Gianulias, who will advance into the semifinal game. And she'll take on Lori Nichols, but for Sharon Todd, a 4th place finish, $2,500 check, and only a question of time before Sharon Todd ends up in the winner's circle out here. This is her 5th appearance in the championship round.
In 1990, she is now has 2 4th place finishes. So starting out the year, very good.
2 championship round appearances out of 5 shows, not too bad. We'll advance into the semifinal game now, the Lady Fairlanes Open, and it'll be Nicki Gianulias and